everybody. Welcome on board. I am running terribly late this evening because I have a new iPad which for whatever reason wasn't loving Facebook. So hopefully now we're all back on board and it's all working and it's doing all the things that I would like it to do. We're just waiting for a few people to just tune in and then we can be off and racing. So, like I said, running a little bit behind my 8 ball today, especially given that today we had a power outage in the area. I actually worked from my car doing some FaceTime and all sorts of bits and pieces. So a bit of a hectic day. Hey, welcome Lisa, welcome Eva, welcome Jody. Thanks for joining me. We've got Trez there, or Teresa, which is gorgeous. Thank you guys for joining in. Don't forget to get in there and write your messages or your questions, I really should say. The more you can kind of give me detail around a particular topic or a particular area, the easier it is for me to come in, zone into that area and have a really good look at how I can best support that particular question. Please do remember, as the instrument, I don't use tarot cards. There's nothing else other than me. So again, you just have to make sure that it's a direct question. Try to avoid asking questions that are relevant to other people. Try to really kind of think about where you're at and what you need for yourself, okay? Don't forget to hit me with the thumbs up, a love heart, a like, any of those sorts of things as we're going across this evening. Welcome, Auckland. Lovely to see some first-timers in here today. Again, for those who haven't seen me work before, I am the instrument, so it's really important to put in your question. Sometimes Spirit will just come to a name that they're particularly wanting to address or they're wanting to connect in with, but the majority of the time my guides, they like to just get that question and they like to just punch in there and get those results for you, okay? So we've got lots of people joining in now, which is gorgeous. Please don't forget to share. You know, sharing these lives really do help our industry. It really does help to get all the other people who really would appreciate a little mini session getting involved in some way, shape and form, okay? Hi Jody. Hello Christina Ross, how you doing? Hi Leni, would like to know, will I be opening a wellness shop to do healings? Well, Leni, as you already know, you've started on this project. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm just going to flick a light on. It's gotten a little bit dark here. I am a big fan of natural lighting, so, you know, as the lights start to shift and change in the area, unfortunately, we have to go with electricity. Welcome on board, everybody. So we were talking to Leni, who had a question of, I'd like to know if I'll be opening a wellness shop to do healings. Now, Leni, I am being told that you are actually focusing on this already, so it doesn't really need a response into the question of will I. We already know that that's the direction that you want to go. What they are saying though is that there's a bit of financial, there's a little bit of cleanup, there's still some paperwork and some other things that you're wanting to get through first before you action all of that. So it's about timing. You've got your big picture, which is really great to see. The mind map is definitely being planned out. One of the things that you're not quite actioning the way that they would like to see is a little bit of the smaller goals. So they're asking you to just break down those smaller goals. As you break them down, then you can action them as they kind of come on board. There's also some question marks around some study for you as well, Dale, and that is around that holistic area, and also bringing in other practitioners who can utilize the spaces, rent them out, but also be complementary to what you particularly want to focus on for yourself. So I do hope that answers your question. Hi Emma, welcome on board. Lovely to see you, gorgeous. Welcome Wendy, first time. I appreciate insight with health. Okay, Wendy Quinn. Oh, you've got a couple of different things coming on board with the health side of it, my doll. It's probably a little bit inappropriate for me to overly talk about it in this particular platform. I think sometimes some things should be a little bit mysterious or a little bit private. One of the things that is coming up around the health side of it is that there's been a few little things going on, in particular in the lower region. So a little bit in the women's area, a little bit in the digestive area, also a little bit in, we'll call it the bowels, if you will. It's all kind of part and parcel. But one of the things that they're saying here is you've already started to create a bit of focus around that through changing dietary. So you've eliminated quite a lot of different things, and now you're bringing in a couple of other more beneficial things, whether that's a little bit more herb, a little bit more water, a little bit more vitamin. pH levels are a little bit out for me. If we can just kind of combat with what you know already with the elimination and then slowly introduce things back, I think you're going to find your answer, because it's to do with certain things that you're eating that's creating this situation. So it's almost like an IBS for you, doll. All the best of luck with that. You're definitely heading it in the right direction, okay? Moving along. Don't forget, guys, to share all of this. Somebody has shared. Thank you. That's nice. My spirits are talking about it, and as it came up at the same time, so that's always gorgeous. Helps me to recognize that we're on point and that we are moving in the right direction of all bits and pieces here. My guides don't like generals. Please make sure that you actually ask it a particular question around a topic. They like fast pace and speed. If you're kind of just asking them a general, they're going to get a little bit frustrated with that, because in our platform that we're working on, you're literally just a little picture and just a name. So if you're not giving me enough for them to kind of be drawn to you, they're not going to come to you. It's kind of how they work in this particular platform. Sometimes I'll let loved ones come through. Maria's saying, you know, would like to know, Spirit, any messages for me. Sometimes your guides might come through. Sometimes loved ones will come through. Again, in this particular platform, it's not their favorite thing to do. What we try to do in these sort of sessions, and I know every single medium works a little bit differently. My guides, however, would like to use this platform as a solid opportunity to get through as many people as we possibly can who really just need that one thing kind of answered, that one something that right now is going to benefit their journey and benefit their path, okay? All right. So, Emma, so excited about your business adventure. As you know, with all businesses, they have ups and they have downs. So Emma Darling, this is addressing it to you. Your direct question here is, could you let me know, is my business going to be successful? Well, first and foremost, it certainly isn't going to be unsuccessful. So that's really exciting. The success will definitely come over time. They're showing me that there's still a little bit that you're working on, and this is to do with layout, design, other parties that are involved, because you're not involved in this whole planning process on your own. There's more than one person kind of somewhat engaged with it. You are the predominant owner of the business. It's just that there's a couple of other individuals who I guess are in a way a bit of key players. This could be partnership, this could be other characters who are part of that decision making, and sometimes if it's going to affect another person's financials, they also have that little bit of a right to know kind of where it's at and what's going on. When I'm watching the outlay and all the details, they show me the documents are still not yet quite right. They're showing me there's a stack of things that you still need to kind of get your head through. Once you kind of make that breakthrough and things start to shape, they start to mold, then everything starts to move along really quite nicely. I'm not sure what the online process is, but there's also a component of that as well as delivery, as well as a bit of face-to-face. There's a couple of different combinations. Going to take you a little bit of time just to bring all of those bits and pieces together, but once you do, sweetheart, you've nailed it, and success and moving on, okay? Again, business platforms are really hard in this particular scenario, especially when we're doing it in this platform, because there are so many different things that I need to have a look at, from insurances to legal to liability to, you know, all the different aspects of the business and the layers that that business might come in. And Emma, yours does have a number of different layers there when I'm looking at it. But if we're talking about the end result, absolutely the end result will be successful. If we're talking about it right now, yes, we are in that little bit of rocky road of just pacing ourselves, getting through the hardcore bits and pieces that we need to. Once you kind of get through all of that overwhelming sensation that you've got going on, that insecurity, that pressure that you're feeling, it will actually subside, and then you'll see off and racing, okay? Wishing you all the best, my darling. All right. We've got Lena Lou saying, wow, thank you so much. You're welcome, sweetheart. Thank you so much for sharing. That's absolutely gorgeous. Please, guys, make sure that you are sharing. The more that you guys are sharing, the faster everything moves along. Spirit really likes engagement with people. So again, with my guides, and as I said, we all work differently, and you know, I certainly don't look at what everybody else's platforms are and how they're going about their day to day. For me, I am the instrument. Okay, so you really do need to shoot me that question. Let me throw it up there. Let me bring that back down. Let me try to give it to you as condensed and as concise as I possibly can. I will make my responses as quick and easy as I possibly can so that we can get to the next person, okay? You have to remember that in these mini reads, it's kind of like a free session, if you will, okay? If you were sitting with us, the depth, the detail that my guides would go through is very, very different to this type of situation or scenario, okay? So I go by my guides, all right? I'm employed by them and it's on their rules, okay? So their rules right now is hit me up with a question. If you hit me up with a question, they're coming to you, they're going to be answering you, okay? We got Wendy Quinn saying thank you. You're welcome, sweetheart. Got a few joining us. Thank you guys for coming in and watching. We've got Kate sitting there watching. Got a few other things. One of the things that happens in these particular platforms, we also get a lot of what's trolls, okay? So please do be mindful that you'll have other people that might jump in who suggest that they're mediums, and they might message you, and they might send you a little bit of a private discussion or message. Please be mindful. That's not how we work, okay? A reputable psychic or medium, they will always work in a way which for yourself, you'll find a level of connection with that character, okay? They don't seek you out, you seek them out. And usually that's done through referral or done through something that you've seen, something that you've witnessed, something that you've experienced, or just because you're naturally drawn to a person, okay? So please just be mindful of those trolls who do sometimes hit you up. They may suggest that they're from the agency or from, you know, the directory, sorry. They're most likely not, okay? We will never contact anybody directly. It goes against our ethics, okay? So please do make sure that you keep that in mind. Don't forget to thumbs up while I'm going. Don't forget to send me little love hearts. I can see some love hearts floating along here, which is absolutely gorgeous. Thanks, guys. The more engaged you are and the more interactive, the better it is for me, okay? All right. Let's keep moving along here. Welcome everybody, welcome. Thanks for the love hearts, the likes, the shares. Keep doing all of that gorgeous engagement. It really does help the platform moving, which is great. All right, hi, will there be a love card? Oh, please do remember, guys, I don't do cards, but Holly Watson, I can answer your question regardless with cards or no cards. So Holly Watson, if you can hear me. Holly, I need you to be thinking a little bit more about your question, okay? Because really at the end of the day, each and every one of us receives love in some shape and form, whether it be family, whether it be friends, whether it be in a romantical sense, okay? When you're actually asking this question, what you're really saying is you're hoping for that right person to engage and come into your life. Holly, the right person is still a little bit of time off for you. I'm being told that you're still, you know, licking old wounds, okay? We're still getting over previous relationship. And it's not because you want that person back. It's not because you are unfinished with everything that is that past relationship. It's more that you lost a lot of personal identity from that relationship. And in this current moment in life, you're still working through who you are. And as you are doing that, your taste, your interest, the people that you once upon a time were attracted to may no longer actually be the individuals that you would want in your personal life today, in the sense of romantic, okay? So Spirit's showing me your growth, your evolution, shifts and changes in personal identity. And as you grow through that, it draws the new person closer and closer to you based on the newer vibration of you rather than the vibration that you used to be. So to simplify, the answer to your question is, will there be the rightful partner in your life? Absolutely there will. Is he here now and current? Not exactly. It doesn't mean that you haven't crossed paths with this person, because I have seen this person in your zone, if you will, or perhaps on the outskirts of social circle. So you technically already know who this person is to a degree, but your timing with each other is not quite right. One of the skill sets that you need to learn is patience, not rushing yourself into that next relationship, because that's what's got you in trouble in the past, okay? What you need to do this time around is just slow it down. Let them come for you, babe, okay? A man who loves you, or a woman who loves you, if you're in a same-sex kind of relationship or a man-to-man relationship, they're coming for you, okay? You just click with each other and off you go, right? But if your energy and your vibration is not matching, then that can't come. It's like magnets, right? If two magnets are put together and they are not the correct match, they naturally push each other away, right? If you turn the magnet around and the vibration is then right and fitting, then the two connect, okay? So, Holly, keep working on you, because that's how the right person comes your way, okay? Beautiful. All right, keeping going, keeping going. Hi everybody, thanks for the love hearts, thanks for sharing. Make sure you share the page as much as you can, guys. The more we can get this out there, the more opportunities we can have, so that, you know, moving forward we can get some more days, or I can at least try to make room for some more hours for the platform. All right, we've got Rosanna Ascone. Hi gorgeous, how you doing? We've got Jess Lopez. Okay. Would love to know if I'm doing a business with Auntie, or am I going on my own? Jess Lopez, literally as I was reading that particular message, they were tapping their fingers, okay? Spirit's telling me that there is more than one option here. While I think it's lovely that your auntie can add a value to the business and the business platform and portfolio, I do believe that it is something that you can definitely do on your own. I think the way around it is that you set up your business and you do it in a way that it is actually yours, and you draw in other support if necessary, right? You would be more better at paying them a wage or paying them a service fee for the works that they do. And then as time progresses and as that business can expand and grow, you can then look at whether or not that person comes in and buys shares, or whether or not you do it in different platforms. But if you do it where you've got to mentally constantly share all this idea and all this knowledge and all this information with one other person, the process becomes very slow. Okay, and what you then would have been able to achieve going it alone, you're actually going to find that conflict and discussions and negotiations, it all becomes very long-winded. And if you look very closely, you can see that there's already been a little bit of that pattern going on. It's not ideal, because initially the business idea was yours, okay, and you've gone and shared it, and you've gone and discussed it, and then it's gone from being yours to then being a possibility of others coming in. Stop fearing it, sweetheart. You can do this. You do not ever need anybody else in the earth to get you to where you want to go, okay? Doesn't matter who you are. But bringing in other skills, if you don't have it, can certainly help aid that process, okay? So think about it from that point of view. She definitely wants to support you, sweetheart. She's not really that phased whether she's a part of the business. She just wants to see you reach for a goal and keep pushing for it, drive yourself, and get there, okay? Thank you guys for all the little thumbs up and all the little love hearts and little smileys and the little hugs. Thanks for the engagement. Please do make sure that you're sharing. Also give me a moment of letting me know which country that you're from or where you're saying hi from. And also for me, my guides, they like clear questions, okay? All right. So where's my stars? Oh, no, 2 hours. It's costing me a lot of care. When I work, do you guys see this as a positive or if it's possible? Belinda Mackey, I'm going to come to you, sweetheart. They're saying here, and sorry, I just have to turn my page for a little second. Well, not my page, my iPad for a minute. If I was to give up work for 6 months, is my son is only at school at the moment for 2 hours a day, ASD and ADHD, and is costing me a lot of care when I work. Question: do your guides see this as a positive, and if it's possible? Belinda Mackey, I'm being told that you're also looking at other aid. Okay, so this is other support systems, all right? And I'm being told that it's through that other support system that you're actually going to be able to juggle things a little bit better. You're kind of rushing all of your choices at the moment without getting all the information, all the other options and choices that need to still be presented to you. They keep showing me there's 2 other options that are going to be displayed to you, and that's actually going to be the better outcome. It won't actually then be costing you so much out of your own personal pocket. What will happen is a percentage out of your pocket will be utilized, and the other percentage will be subsidized. So this will come from something that your doctor or a specialist is doing. I just can't work out which one of them, or if it's a combination of these 2 carers collaborating to help find you the best financial options, where you're not giving up everything that you're needing to still do from a financial point of view with raising your household and family, but also the best thing for your son's aid simultaneously. Okay, so don't rush anything just at the moment. Don't want you to make any huge decisions. I want you to keep doing what you have been doing, which is investigating all your choices, okay? So I hope that you got that nice and clearly, and that was Belinda Mackey, and I hope I've said that correctly, okay? Don't forget to shoot me love hearts and smiles and faces and thumbs up and share the page along, okay? Thank you all for joining in. So keeping moving now. Emma Delling, you're more than welcome, gorgeous. I'm so excited about your business ventures. You're definitely heading all of that in the right direction. All right. Okay, we've got Nicole Dundon, and I don't know if I said that right. Hopefully I did, and give me a bit of a thumbs up to let me know that I'm on the right direction. But we're coming to Nicole, and Nicole's question is the man in my life at the moment the one for me? Would love some guidance, please. Nicole, this is a very fresh and new relationship, and when I'm looking at it, I can see that you're only both just starting to engage, unravel, and really get to the depth of knowing each other. Relationships, they're all complicated, okay? No relationship is the same. No relationship is simple. No 2 people bring out the same attributes in your character, okay? So looking at this person, you can't compare it to any other relationship that you have. But what we want to be able to see is that from any other relationship that you had, you're not necessarily rehashing the same lessons over and over again. That through new relationship, there's new things to learn, okay? Now, the trick to that is understanding that it's not about learning about the other person, it's actually about learning about yourself, right? So when I'm looking at what the other character can offer, what he can display and what he can show, and what complementary components he brings out in you, it is actually a really comfortable dynamic. One of the things that probably would be quite nice is a little bit more transparency. You tend to have your wall up just a little bit, and part of that is wanting to not suss him out, it's probably not the right word, but you want to see how transparent he is, right? And that gets really hard, because what happens then is if you're not showing it, then he's got no reason to mirror it back, right? So again, just keeping that in mind. I do see from old hurt that you do push people away when they get a little bit too close and a little bit too entwined in the detail of you. You like that to come out a little bit slow, a little bit over time, and not necessarily where you feel like it's been forced out, okay? And I don't feel that he's trying to do any of that. Sometimes when somebody you're connecting with brings up certain old traumas for you. It's so that you can work on yourself, right? So remember how I said before, it's about learning about you, learning about maybe something you haven't coped with, something you haven't dealt with. So he may accidentally be doing that. That's not something he wants to do, okay? Can this relationship last and stand all time? Absolutely, but we've got to let our past issues go, because that's actually what's holding this relationship back from truly flourishing. He wants to explore it, he wants to get to know you, he wants to delve into it, doesn't want to rush it, okay? There is no fire that we're putting out here. We're trying to ignite the fire, okay? And that's slow, steady, paced kindling, all right? So you guys just got to make sure that you're throwing on that fire or the right ingredients, and we're not smothering it, okay? Overall, the relationship is a good one. Please allow it to really display itself as time moves, okay? Don't force the outcomes though, and please stop trying to control those outcomes too, okay? Thanks, Nicole. All right, I've got some other people jumping in saying good evening, a few other people that are joining in and watching now, which is gorgeous. Let me see. Don't forget to hit up on here if you've shared it. Oh, thank you, Jackie. You've got to share there. Jackie, I did see your message a little bit earlier. It's disappeared now, so try to come back to it if I do miss it, all right? We've got Christine White. Christine, I hope you're still there. Love guidance. Yes, I'd love some about my guy. Christine, look, he's overall a good guy. He's a little bit shy. He's a little bit reserved. He doesn't always express himself in as much emotional content as what you sometimes would like from him. But that's got nothing to do with you. That's his own personality and his own traits. I can see he's a little bit witty, he's a little bit funny, but it's more as he gets comfortable with people. You can't push those parts of a personality. As he's getting to a little bit more, I guess, knowing how you handle his banter and how he displays some of those personality traits, if you will, he'll start to ease off a little bit, and then you'll both be able to be a little bit more relaxed and a little bit more at ease in this relationship. Definitely some fun times ahead here. He is quite spontaneous, and he does have some romantic layer to him, even though he is a little bit relaxed and a little bit laid back, and it can feel like you're having to direct things just a little bit, but that's only because he wants you to feel you get a say, you get a choice, and that it's not all him making all of those plans, okay? So again, perfectly fine relationship, no issues or concerns really. Not suggesting you don't bump heads, not suggesting that there's a few little things that could be tweaked, but there's no need to tweak it all in one go. This is still about learning, okay? All right. We've got Lee Gray Prosser, I think I've said it right. Lee, welcome aboard. The question here is, are my guides happy with me as I have been talking with them? Look, it's always really great to have open dialogue with your guides, right? Your guides really thrive on that whole interconnected relationship. And you would have heard me say a little bit earlier about my guides and the rules that they have and the way that they like to work. When my guides are really quite content with how everything is going, you'll notice that I will talk at a very, very fast pace, because there is so much that they're wanting to get out to that person that they're working with. Now, as you develop that relationship with your guides, over time, they'll find different little things to show you, different tweaks, different ways to acknowledge that they've communicated back with you. So in response to your question, are my guides happy with me? They will start to show you little ways of their behavior back to validate aspects of that connection and the communication with them, okay? But you're definitely heading it in the right direction. I always recommend journalizing a little bit of that dialogue that you had with your guides. You might say something like, hey guides, needing a little bit of direction with going to the city tomorrow, I need some parking. And then the following day, when you drive into the city and they find you that awesome valet parking spot out the front, which is usually my style of things, then that's their way of letting you know, hey, I heard you, okay? My kids will tell you, sometimes I'll put out for a parking spot, and the parking spot will literally be one car away from my parents' car, okay? So it's, again, Spirit's way of letting me know that, hey, heard you, I'll make sure that it's really close to family, I'll make sure that it's, somewhere where we can just validate that for you, and that's their way of saying thank you for communicating back with them, okay? So learning to kind of memorize those little bits and pieces of how they give it back to you, okay? I hope that helps you a little bit there, Lee. You are naturally very spiritual, darling. You're definitely pushing yourself in the right direction. It's great that you're having dialogue with your guides, but it's also about including dialogue with self, because you need to understand your own symbols, your own signs, your own little things that Spirit shares with you, and they're all different and they're all unique, okay? Myself, as you know, I don't use tarots. Others do. That's how their guides work with them. There is no right way and wrong method. It's more about what's most comfortable for the individual and the way their guides work. I have 12 of them, okay, so they do interact in a very different method to others, all right? Okay, don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to send love hearts, don't forget to send thumbs up. It just helps me to know that you guys are still there and engaging. Sometimes the messages kind of come to a bit of a slow pattern, and then it doesn't sort of keep moving, so it's hard to sort of know if I've addressed somebody, if somebody's still waiting for me to be addressed, all that sort of stuff. Make sure that you're hitting the share page as well, because it helps the pages so that we know how the dynamics is all working alongside here. All right, I'm going to come to Carly Burgess. Hi, Dal. Would love a card. Don't have them, but we can definitely still answer your question. Okay. Would love a card for career, please. Will this secondment happen in the next month as promised? Thank you. Okay. Don't really know what you're going on with your little question, but it's really neither here nor there to me. If I summarize, what you're asking is the career path that you're heading in, is it still heading in the right direction? And as we move forward with the promises that have been made to you within the industry, will they actually hold on to that? Okay. Kerry, I am being told, I hope I've said it right, Kerry, they do have every intention of bringing forward this next level for you, okay? There is a little bit of in-house training, also a little bit of discussion about how that's going to look, but they haven't dismissed you, okay? So even though at the moment they're not coming back to that conversation, it's not because of anything to do with you. It's more because of their own in-house programming that they've got to resolve, and making sure that the financials are on point. But given last year, with COVID and everything else that kind of happened, and how the company itself kind of got hit a little bit, they are being a bit strategic with making sure that they don't rush the financial process. I am being told that this offer, also as promised, there'll be a little bit of extra on the financial buffer, okay? So thinking now about it having a monetary avenue to it as well. Don't be impatient, because what will happen then is they'll feel more pressure than they already do. The whole point of transitioning you and moving you up is so that the pressure in different areas is removed. We can bring other people in underneath you. So there's a couple of different things in their method and madness and their strategy that they're getting through. Do they want to keep you on board? Do they want to support you? Do they want to encourage you? Absolutely they do. Do you have all the right ingredients for the role, and are you more than able to do this role with your hands tied behind your back? Absolutely you are. I need your confidence and I need your faith there, and I need you to trust that the discussions that they've had with you, they are rolling it in. It may just be a little bit past the next month, so we'll call it end of April into early May, when you'll see the true transitions, okay? But just be patient, all right? Other than that, awesome opportunities to lie ahead for you here. You're definitely nailing it. You're definitely on top of everything, so keep pushing yourself forward, okay? That was for Kerry Burgess, for anybody who missed it, and just in case she missed it and she needs to come back to it at another time, that's there. You will always repeat your name, usually at the beginning, usually at the end. So if you, for whatever reason, had to leave the session or leave the show, and you do decide to come back and watch it again, please make sure that you guys do that, because sometimes you will be addressed, but you might not know it until maybe later on. All right. Where are we? All right, keeping going. Oh, Holly Watson, coming back to you, I know I addressed you a little bit earlier today. Your question here is, do you see reconciliation happening with my family one day? Look, this is a really, really hard one because the escalation of the situation between the family, it's not an easy thing, okay? It's going to take some time before true forgiveness can really come to the surface for every single individual, okay? I think in the past, a lot of matters have been pushed to the side and pushed to the surface, and not always has everybody been so honest, and sometimes honesty is what causes everybody to feel like the relationship or the connections are not correct, right? Unfortunately, we can't all walk around being completely honest with each other. We would end up with a world of chaos, right? So here, where everyone has been a little bit honest, they've all kind of spoken and said the things that make them feel X, Y, and Z, right? It doesn't mean that just because we feel a certain situation was unpleasant, that we don't actually still love that character, right? So when I'm looking at the family dynamics, what I really need to be able to see here is, in order for reconciliation, is the love still fluent? Are we all still entwined and interconnected with each other in some way? And I can see that family-wise, you all actually are, okay? But when will that occur where you can let the past be what it actually is, and as individuals move forward and recognize that there is a different way of handling things if we want to? That is still some time off, sweetheart, okay? So I can't say it's never going to happen. So in answer to your question, will the family one day reconcile? Yes, they will, but it's definitely way down the track. It's not anytime soon, okay? Wish you all the best with that. Family is always a really tough one, sweetheart, but just let it run its course there, okay? So that was Holly Watson and a question mark about family, just in case you missed it, okay? We've got Laura Lou Blondie, and I think I'm saying that right. Hi, is my health in the right direction, please? Thank you. So Laura Lou, coming back to having a look at health, and I want to roll backwards a couple of weeks ago. There was already some changes that you were implementing, and it's only really now that the body's starting to respond to that. You have been very consistent with what you're doing as far as the eating regime goes. Don't be impatient to not wait to see those results, okay? It does take a good 12 weeks for the body to genuinely start to be reprogrammed so that it responds with our immune system, it responds with our ailments and our aches and our pains and so forth, and allowing those elements to subside. So from what I can tell, the dietary element that you've already shifted and changed is already starting to look promising. You've increased your water, you've increased your exercise. The stomach region doesn't feel as solid and as hard, if I can put it that way, which also means the digestive system is slowly starting to ease off. So definitely doing what you can. Again, these sorts of results, they don't happen overnight, okay? You have to work on it. Just like if you were studying for an exam, you'd have to study and study and study before you sit that exam. You can't just walk into the exam and just assume that you're going to know all the content or information. So you're definitely working on yourself, and I'm really pleased to see that you are doing perfectly fine here. They show me everything here is all okay, all right? That was for Laura Lou Blondie, and I do hope that I said that correctly, okay? Okay. Okay, keeping going. Make sure it's a direct question, people. Don't forget your love hearts. Don't forget to thumbs up, letting me know that you're still all engaged. Also, don't forget to share the page as well. Would love to see that all happening. The more that we can get that, the better. We've got lots of gorgeous people watching. We've got Natalie Higgin, hi sweetheart. We've also got Jackie Campas, Eno Delara. I hope I said that all good. Laura Lou, you're welcome, sweetheart. We've got Annette Fefe, I think it is Fefe. Hi, beautiful. I'm wondering, single 11 years. I'm ready. Is someone coming? All right, let's have a look here. Annette, you have actually really thrived in your single adventures, and I don't believe it's so much needing someone that's all about romantical, but it is about finding somebody who definitely knows how to connect with you in regards to lifestyle, in regards to hobbies, interest, complementary things, compatibility, somebody who also knows how to still give you a little bit of that personal space. Okay, you can't go from being, you know, single all this timeline and then suddenly be with somebody who's like super possessive and doesn't know how to give you any personal space, right? You are a free-spirited person, so you definitely do need someone who knows how to nurture that for you as well. I am being shown there is a gentleman, but he is still a couple of years off. Okay, I'm approximately 2.5, maybe 3 years at most. Okay, gentleman has already got grown children, all that sort of stuff. He's also seeking someone for travel, somebody for adventure, somebody for spontaneity, meals, deals, wining, dining, movies, you know, the day-to-day leisures of life, okay? He is somebody who, when I'm watching him, he can come across a little bit quiet, a little bit reserved, but then I can also see when he's talking one-on-one with someone, he loves to get into a detailed conversation. Doesn't like them to be short and sweet, but he won't talk about anything unless he actually knows solid knowledge and information, okay? So I do feel from an intellect point of view, you guys are definitely going to get along exceptionally well. He isn't somebody who needs to be pampered. He can cook for himself, he can clean for himself, he can do all of that. He's not looking for a mother, okay? He's looking for somebody who is his equal, who as a character, when he's off and he's living his journey and he's going on his pathway, there's somebody validating those journeys and experiences with him too. So yes, it will come, sweetie. It's got nothing to do with you as to whether or not attraction or any of those things, or the particular phrase they keep telling me is that you keep thinking that you've been left on the shelf and everybody else is kind of passing you by. That's not entirely true. All the wrong people are definitely passing you by, and that's super fine by me. Don't need to going into any wrong relationships just for the sake of relationship. But the right person hasn't been able to cross your path at this particular timeline, and that is because separated by proximity, okay? So absolutely nothing to do. You just got to wait for him to come into your path. Okay, so I do hope that when you get to that, you remember this conversation very solidly, because he is definitely worth waiting for. Okay, so that was for Annette Faith, I think is maybe how you say it. I'm not really sure. I think in the past I've mentioned to you that I'm not really good with names, okay? And a lot of the time I don't have time to see that because I've got all these other pictorials and I've also got auditory and other things kind of connected, okay? Bobby Bernadette Turner, welcome on board. We've got Rebecca Anderson, welcome on board. Lots of beautiful new faces welcoming in today, and also some gorgeous familiar faces, and also some friends and other loved ones who I am very well acquainted with. So welcome on board. Thanks for the thumbs up, thanks for the love hearts, and thank you all so much for sharing. Would love to see what country you guys are from as well. When you've got a second, you know, flip that up there. It's always good for our entertainment point of view to know that we are really connecting all around the globe in the way that helps everybody connect in here, okay? All right, we've got Lisa Corncolette. Okay, my husband is extremely judgmental where my mental health is concerned. Is it a part of why I can't get better? Lisa, I don't feel that he means to challenge everything the way that you're feeling it, okay? Firstly, you're extremely heightened and very sensitive. So anything he says, you may accidentally react to in ways that if it was another person saying the same thing, you might not necessarily have that same kind of trauma reaction that you've got going on, right? I'm not disagreeing that he can be judgmental, but I don't believe that that's his intention, okay? I think he does actually want to support you. I think he's ill-equipped to know how. A lot of what's going on for you are all things that nobody else can physically really see. It's all things that are happening internalized in many different ways. And as much as you can utilize your words to express it, it doesn't always mean that the other person is understanding it, okay? Somebody can say, oh my God, my skin feels like it's burning, just as an example. And the other person, if they've never had that sensation, may not be able to offer the compassion or be able to offer the empathy or the clarity understanding of all of that. And I can see with your partner, this is a little bit of what goes on because he's not gone through the same experiences as what you're currently going through. He doesn't always know how to put himself into your shoes. He doesn't know that sometimes what he's saying and what he's doing is in fact affecting you, okay? You need to also understand that you're going through this mental health situation, and how you're going through it is one way, but how he's going through it as the passenger in that driving vehicle that you've got going on, he doesn't even know the location, doesn't know the destination, okay? So he does feel very overwhelmed, and he does feel very overloaded with not knowing enough information. So I think here what might need to happen to eliminate some of this added layer of mental pressure that you've got going on and mental stress that you're feeling through this situation with him layering pressure on you accidentally is having somebody else who is a bit more of a profession in the field of mental health gently kind of explain and guide him to having a little bit more understanding of where you're at and what might really be going on for you, okay? That's not your role to try to help him understand it. That's the role of somebody external who is professional in helping that character. Does that make sense? Okay. It's kind of like somebody saying to him, your wife's skin's gonna fall off tomorrow, right? If he can't see that happening, it's very hard for him to understand it, okay? If that situation then occurred, he'd be like, oh my God, his skin's falling off, but by then it's too bloody late, okay? So what we need to do is come back in and find others to support you by explaining to him. Don't put yourself in that, because you're only putting yourself in that firing line, okay? All the best of luck with you there. Mental health is a real difficult situation, sweetheart, but you seem to be handling it reasonably well. Lots of changes in your coping mechanism, and definitely taking on board all the right advice, so you don't actually need anything from me in that regard. It really is, how can we help those around you understand what's happening for you so that they can also then help you too. Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much. All right, we've got probably only a couple of minutes left, because unfortunately I did start a little bit late today. Got a new computer and the power wasn't working and all sorts of things were happening. And Spirit does like to play with all my electrical stuff. So that said, let's keep moving forward. We've got Olivia Paul, welcome on board. I've got Michelle Hughes, welcome on board. Don't forget to thumbs up, don't forget to send love hearts. Don't forget to also share this across with other loved ones that you've got going on there. Annette, you've messaged us, oh my goodness, thank you. You totally explained my last 11 years. I've grown so much. Yes, you're amazing. Yes, thank you so much, gorgeous. Don't forget to share, and don't forget to acknowledge that to others around you, and share the good, the bad, and everything else about the session. I'm certainly not going to take it personal, because it's not coming from me, it's coming from the other side. So again, let's see where we're at here. Sharon Thomas, my mum has just started to show signs of dementia. Just wanting to get some guidance on this, please. Sharon, I don't overly go into situations about other people as such, more about how it'll affect the person that I'm addressing. Sharon, I'm technically addressing you in part and parcel of this. That much I have permission for. I don't have permission to have a look at your mum in the full extent that I normally would like to in this particular situation. What I will say to you is it's not your imagination that what you're seeing for your mum is definitely starting to occur. It's a very slow onset for her, and it is literally because there's not enough mental stimulants, which often does create the reason why dementia comes in. Too much structure, too much routine, too much monotony, too much of the same. Monday equals Friday, Friday equals Sunday, Sunday equals Tuesday. It all just kind of blends in and feels too much the same. So then they lose that ability to know what's what, okay? So my advice here is try to find things that will keep her mind stimulated. Jigsaw puzzles, crosswords, she does like those sorts of things. Anything that kind of keeps her a little bit involved with having to think, right? Doing some of those activities with her. So say, for example, if it's a puzzle, sitting and talking her and getting her to physically do the puzzle at the same time, are all things that will help stimulate. Then when you're no longer in her company, she'll want to challenge herself and continue that puzzle. And then when you return, she'll be like, oh, remember that puzzle? Well, I managed to find this part and this part. And it gives her something new to talk about. Often dementia is because there's so many things that's not happening. There's not enough to discuss, not enough to talk about. So the mental cell starts to switch off. It's like a slow turning off, okay? What we want to do is find little things that we can help to keep turning it on. Okay, she's all good for now, sweetheart, but it certainly will aid you to know just a couple of little things that you can do to make this transition for her less predominant now and help her so that we can just keep it at bay a little bit. Okay, I hope that helps you along there. All right, we literally are a little bit pressed for time. They're gonna probably kick me off here in a minute. So thank you so much. We've got Lisa from the USA. We've got Alison coming in from Australia. How you doing? We've got Lynn coming in from New York. So we've got some gorgeous people from all around the globe, which is so lovely to see. Unfortunately, I'm not going to get through everybody in the way that I wanted, but thank you all so much for joining in. I'm here on Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. Please come aimed with questions, okay? My guides love questions. It makes it so much faster and so much easier, and literally I can get through as many different clients as I possibly can. Try to focus on that one particular thing, you know, be particular, be specific about what you want to know about. My guides thrive on really getting into the nuts and bolts of that one thing. We've got Bettina Mitchell from New Jersey, USA. My name is Bren. Do you see a long partner husband in my future? Bren Michelle, USA. Welcome on board from America there, my sweetheart. Sweetheart, let's just roll backwards before we go forwards, okay? Having a look at past relationship, you have been a little bit bitten and a little bit twice shy. And I think part of that was a combination of some financial hits that you took from that previous relationship. Also, that other person's... we'll call it deceit and dishonesty, unfortunately. So there's a couple of little things where I can see there's hesitation for you, okay? And it's not that you don't want somebody in your life. I can see genuinely you do. You are just so picky. They're telling me that woman's list is so long on all the things she doesn't ever want to experience again. So, Bren, what I need you to do is focus a little bit on what do you actually want, right? You have moments where you kind of go, oh, you know, I'd love it if he was like this and I'd love it if he was like that. However, as soon as I see you list all the things that you love, you follow it straight up with but, okay? And then you go through all the things again that you don't want. So what happens is all that gorgeous list that you had of all the things that you wanted quickly gets overruled and smashed down by all the things that you don't want, okay? So we know the don't want list. Spirit shows me we've got that down pat, right? You're not getting the same things repeated, okay? So focusing now on the things that you do want so that you can genuinely draw that right person towards you. But I will let you in on a little secret, okay? So when I've seen this character, this gentleman coming into your life, he actually is connected to a friend on the outskirt, right? So he would be perhaps a friend's maybe brother or something to that nature, because that other relationship's a close one. It's not romantic, so it's not somebody else's partner, it's somebody else's sibling or cousin or something to that nature, right? So it's on that kind of family chain. So when you attend something that's a birthday, an event, or something that's of significance of that nature, this is actually where you're going to connect with this character. This could be a significant birthday, it could be a wedding, it could be engagement. They're not cluing into exactly what it's going to be. The reason for that is if you then know, you're going to spend the whole entire night hunting down this guy, right? That's not what they want for you, okay? We just want you to know that it's an significant event, whatever it is. Could be somebody's christening, it could be somebody's whatever. They don't want to be that detailed because then your eye is going to be wandering, okay? We just want you to go, attend, be you. The gentleman is going to see you, he's going to single you out, sweetheart, and he's going to come your way. He's tall. I don't know why height is something that you're particularly wanting or whatever. And he's stable, secure, and financial, and I know that that's something else that you focus quite solidly on. So that all said and done, I am going to get kicked off. Wishing you all the best of luck. That was for Bettina Mitchell, New Jersey, USA. Thank you all for joining me. It's been absolutely lovely to have you on board. Don't forget to share. Please do tune in again next week. I'm Hayley David, Heavenly Connected, and you can find all my details in my little blurb up there. Much love to you all. Have a great night.